Good morning. Welcome to the 2019-20 District Planning Webinar. My name is Debbie Thompson. I am the Director of Planning for the Tennessee Department of Education, Division of Consolidated Planning and Monitoring. My contact information is on the slide above. Today we are going to talk about the 2019-20 District Planning Cycle. We are going to compare the former design of the planning tool, explore the features of Inform Tennessee, the new planning tool offered in the suites of ePlan, review resources, contacts, and timelines. During the 2016-17 school year, the Tennessee Department of Education tasked itself with redesigning the planning tool. The Division of Consolidated Planning and Monitoring interviewed 16 districts. Those 16 districts, along with divisions within the department, set out to create a collaborative, in-depth planning tool that would allow districts to share with stakeholders the information in a more cohesive way and also a more energetic and collaborative approach to planning. The old planning tool lacked the ability for stakeholders to collaborate. It also gave districts across the state just a snapshot of their data. Districts did not have the ability to compare themselves with their peers, nor did they have the ability to compare themselves statewide. Pilot districts, as well as the 16 districts interviewed, commented that the plan was often hard to update. It lacked the ability for districts and stakeholders to dig into the data and lacked the opportunity for collaboration. Another common theme was the lack of usable materials that the plan would produce. The goals, steps, and action steps were often hard for districts to print, share, or revise. In order to ensure the district and school plans drive funding, as well as drive the educational initiatives for all students, we felt like a planning tool needed to create an environment for these conversations to happen naturally. During the 2017-18 school year, 10 districts were tasked with looking as well as using the new planning tool, Inform TN. These districts felt the new tool provided the following: an informative dashboard, data on comparable districts, insights about their data, ability to group and prioritize data insights, functionality to produce a usable printable version to share with stakeholders, and communication tools for the planning team. As mentioned, the new planning tool, Inform TN, has a home page. The left side of the home page will provide you with the status of the different sections of your district plan. It will also provide you with the school plans as well as their statuses. The left side of the screen has the flow of the tool as well as the plan for the school year. The right side of the screen has the communication method and a planning calendar. The planning calendar will be uploaded by the Tennessee Department of Education annually to ensure all districts are aware of planning timelines. The flow of the tool is much like the flow of the tool in past years. We're going to ask districts and schools to explore their data, analyze their needs, plan, reflect on the plan, and then review their plan. So let's dive right in. As mentioned earlier, Inform TN provides districts and schools the opportunity to take a snapshot of data, but do a further deeper dive. Data is broken into 4 different sections: climate and access, educators, academic achievement and growth, college and career readiness. As you can tell, the data is broken up into easy categories. These categories all have a bubble at the bottom of their data piece. From the top example, you will see the gray bubble in chronically out of school lets districts know that they are meeting the average or are on par with their comparable districts. Discipline, for example, is red. That means they are below the average of who they are being compared to. The green means they are at or above average. But the deep dive into data doesn't stop there. Districts are able to compare themselves to their peers across the state or close by, but the system already compares the districts as well. At the top of the data page, it will tell you that you are being compared for which school year versus what data point. Below, you will see the districts that you are compared to. Please note all data and district comparisons for this webinar today are from a demo site. But for example, if a director of schools or a district planning team wants to take a deeper dive into their data and compare to other districts, then select Adjust Filter on the left side of the screen. Select the filter you want to use, district or benchmark, click Close and Apply, and the data will compare based on the parameters you set. So let's take a deeper look at the Explore Data and Capture Needs. So if you want to send a message to another member of the district planning team, you can select on the blue message bubble next to the data component, and a new comment bubble will generate. On the right side of the data component or category, you will also see Capture, Insight, and Image. The image may be downloaded to use in PowerPoint and other information to share with district stakeholders. The Capture Insight gives you an opportunity to just capture that to use later in the planning tool. Inform TN does a lot of the data diving for you. Here you can look and tell that you were able to look at different matrices. For instance, you can look at your selection, but it also gives you a data point in goldenrod. That is the district average. So schools and districts across the state can have a snapshot of what and how they are performing on different metrics. Another example of just a deep dive that Informed TN allows districts to do and enables them to have data at their fingertips to make informed decisions to drive student outcomes. District planning teams also have the District Explorer option. Districts are able to look at districts from across the state that are showing the greatest progress and success in different areas. First, you are prompted to select the category or matrix. Then you use your drop-down boxes to look at staffing characteristics or different characteristics of the matrix selected. And then you hone in on the size, the core region, or the percentage of economically disadvantaged. So you can narrow down your search even farther. Among selected districts, you can tell on the left where the overall performance of those teachers in those districts were. So once you have reviewed your data, you've honed in on some places that you may be weak or underperforming in. Then you analyze your needs and identify your priorities. So earlier when you were capturing those insights, some of those insights are pinned on your Analyze Needs and Identify Priorities page. This allows different LEA and district plan members to go through and identify data points that interest them and items they feel like they would like to bring to a larger discussion. District planning team members can collaborate and communicate using this page on data points as well as resources that they have found that may connect to these items. Districts are encouraged to create 3 to 5 needs. Each need should have a title, tie back to a data section, have a description, and may have a supporting file. Once you've identified those needs, then you prepare to plan. These questions have not changed from the 2017-18 district plan. These 2 questions align to Every Student Succeeds requirements in the Tennessee State School Board Policy 2.101. We ask that all districts identify team members and outline how those team members are involved in the creation, revision, and completion of their district plan. When identifying team members, it is important that districts have stakeholders who represent the students of the schools within their districts. These stakeholders should include principals, administrators, paraprofessionals, teachers, parents, community members, and if appropriate, students. Please keep in mind, plans should be revisited throughout the school year and should not be one and done. We encourage stakeholders to revisit their plans monthly to ensure alignment of all educational initiatives within the district. Once you have analyzed your needs, it is important to prioritize those needs, ensuring that districts are considering return on investment in what is available to ensure those needs are met for all students. For each prioritized needs, districts will be prompted to answer 2 questions, reflect on your prior strategies in these areas, where have you been successful and where have you faced challenges, and then list your root causes and supporting data for each of the prioritized needs. Districts will have the option of uploading documents that support their planning cycle. Examples of supporting documents may include the district's 5-year strategic plan, the LEA planning meeting notes, agendas, or minutes, and any local data sources, hard data or soft data, that the district planning team feels has driven the district plan in the creation and implementation of that plan. So districts will have the ability to print in either a PDF or an Excel file the plan document. Unlike the former planning tool, Inform TN will print a easy-to-read plan. The first column will be the strategy, the action step, the benchmark indicator, the person responsible, the estimated completion date, funding source, and notes. We feel like this is an asset and will be a usable tool for all districts across the state. Once the plan is completed, districts will be prompted to ask a series of questions and reflect on plan section. These questions are a combination of the Tennessee State School Board policy as well as Tennessee Code annotated. These questions have not changed from the 2017-18 school year or the 2018-19 school year. These questions focus on well-rounded education, safe and supportive and healthy environments, family and community engagement, effective transition from high school, educator placement, and the integration of CTE and work-based learning opportunities. Additional questions include English language learner supports, least restrictive environment, IEP transitionary goals in place for students, and post-secondary outcomes surveys for students with disabilities. All districts that accept federal funding will be required to check the LEA Plan Assurances page. These assurances have not changed from the 2018-19 district plan and should be checked before the submission of the plan to your local core office. So we've done a deep dive into the new planning tool. Let's talk a little bit about the 2019-20 planning timeline and support. District plans. The planning tool opens in ePlan January 4th. Plans due in ePlan on March 1st. The core offices will be reviewing the district plans between March 2nd and April 15th. For school plans, our planning tool opens no later than May 1st. Plans are due September 1, and district planning teams should review and approve all school plans by October 1. Just a reminder of our technical assistance breakdown here at the Tennessee Department of Education for planning. Core offices analyze district plans. They can help districts create a process for analyzing their data, help identify prioritized needs, develop goals, strategies, and action steps. Whereas our CPM regional consultants provide support on school planning, they ensure that school budgets are aligned with Title I funds, they satisfy required Title I plan components, and they develop timelines processes for proactively gathering feedback, monitoring progress, and involving stakeholders. To ensure all district planning members have access, district staff will need to ensure those members have single sign-on access. In order to be set up for single sign-on, your EIS coordinator will need to send a staff record for you via Ed5. If you have any questions or concerns, please contact dt.support@tn.gov. So, additional planning resources. The Tennessee Department of Education has a planning webpage. The webpage includes resources, supports, Inform Tennessee webinars, a user guide, and rubrics. TDOE Resources in ePlan under the District and Planning include webinars, planning templates, Inform TN user guide, Inform Tennessee one-pager, and a data guide. The Division of Data has also created an Inform TN technical user guide and webinar. It gives information on accessing Inform TN and the different components of Inform TN. A quick 2019-20 school planning update. Again, plans open in the new planning tool Inform TN. September 1, schools will submit their plans in Inform TN. All schools must enter a school plan. And all school plans must be approved by the district plan and Inform TN by October 1st. If you have process questions on district planning, please reach out to your core office. If you have important questions or concerns about the school planning process, please contact me, Deborah Thompson, or one of your CPM regional consultants. For ePlan assistance, please contact Melissa Brown. So to wrap up, tips for effective planning. Please remember, planning is a team effort. It's not a sprint, but it's a marathon. It's important that you truly analyze your data to drive the direction of your planning process. Decisions must be made based on what the data is saying, not what we want the data to say. And make sure you have a system and a process for monitoring and revising those plans throughout the year. Thank you for joining us today for our 2019-20 District Planning webinar.